Okay, welcome to the show. This week we've got a special guest all the way from East Africa, Kenya.
Yeah.
The legendary Mr. RAPHIMUS from Lukenya Movement.
Yes, sir. Blessing.
So, welcome to the show. Can you first tell us where you're from and what it's like, where you're from?
An area called Lukenya, in a place called the River in Machakos County. That's where I come from.
Okay. And which part of Kenya is that?
That's close to the capital. It's as you go towards Mombasa, it's the first county as you leave the capital, as you're going towards Mombasa. It's called Machakos County.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember when I first met you at the festival in near Mombasa, and we didn't really know how we were going to get back, and you managed to escort us all the way back to Nairobi to get us on the next bus to Uganda. So big up.
That was quite a moment, man. I remember it was the beginning of 2020.
That's correct, yeah.
When we were coming from Kilifi New Year.
Cliffy, I couldn't remember the name of the festival, but yeah, it was great times, yeah. And big shout out to C-Wine, Blessed Son, Tizo, and Monraya, and everyone else who was with us on that trip.
Shout out to them, man. We made like friends for life. We made friendships that hopefully will last for a very long time. And you know, we were in a hard place and we had to band together and survive. And I'm glad we actually did survive.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely like a great start to this decade anyway, to meet you and, you know, to be in such a beautiful part of the world as well, and what a great festival as well, you know. So can you describe what type of music, you know, because obviously most people who are going to be listening to the show won't have heard of you, so can you describe what type of music you do and how long you've been doing it for?
Basically, a multi-genre type of artist. You understand?
Yeah.
In that way, when I started, I was more of a singy type of artist. By singy, I mean I was more into R&B. You understand? But then I developed a taste for dancehall music. You get, this is Jamaican influence type of music. But when growing up, I grew up with roots, jungle music. You understand? Those are the type of music I grew up. Reggae music. That's the type of music I grew up when I was growing up. So when I actually became old and actually started doing music on a professional level, I understood that I would not hamstring myself with genres. Do you get? If I say I am a hip hop artist, it means I have to stick to the lane of hip hop. I am an artist, a musician, in that every form of music should be something that I can be comfortable to do at any particular time. You understand? So RAPHIMUS is a multi-genre type of artist hailing from Kenya in the east of Africa. That's the best I can describe my art form.
All right, that's great. Thanks. Yeah, because I noticed that when I was out in Kenya, well, most of the time in Uganda as well, that there's a whole sort of there's a whole melting pot of all different styles of music, you know, and like you said, there's a lot of Jamaican influence, and I know that it works both ways as well, because obviously with the Rastafarian movement and everything is very influenced by that part of East Africa as well. So I guess it goes both ways as well.
Yes.
So what would you say are your biggest influences in this music that you do, and in life in general?
Basically, I think you know, when some people are influenced by other people, why some people like me are influenced by experiences and the type of struggles and the journey that I have come through. So my music is influenced by the type of life that I have lived, the type of experiences that I have had, the type of people that I have come into contact with in my musical journey over the years. You understand? So I'm not influenced more by a person, but by cumulatively the whole journey that I've gone through. And that journey, it influences the type of music I will be doing at that particular moment. You'll find that I'll be doing rhythm when I'm feeling when the mood or the experience leading up to that, to the making of that track, made me feel like making a track that has a Jamaican influence. You understand? So for me, it's about experiences, not people. Some people look up to, you know, American artists, UK artists. Me, I look upon the experiences that I've had as an artist and the people that have influenced my journey and the impact they have had. So the people, their impact, plus the whole journey, the way I've come. I hope I'm not too repetitive.
No, that totally makes sense to me anyway. Yeah, definitely. So can you tell us about the music scene in Kenya?
The music scene in Kenya is lit. You understand? Kenya has always been that country that drives sales for other people's music. You understand? Let me give you a case example. There are these artists who came from Nigeria. They had never had a big show, but once they came and performed in Kenya, they blew up. So you'll find someone like Chronix. When he came to Kenya, he was appreciated more, and which led him to being known globally. So Kenya has a bubbling music scene. For a very long time, we've been listening to West African music, UK music in grime, USA music because it's black people music, you understand? And our neighbors, that is bongo flavor or bongo music plus the Ugandan music, you know. But then 3 years ago, something happened. It was like an awakening whereby like everybody in Kenya decided to start listening to locally available musicians and content, and that's where genres like gengeton started popping up, you understand, because these are authentically Kenyan genres. So the music scene in Kenya is lit. I am telling you, we are so multicultural. I don't think like we have a specific form of genre. I feel like every type of artist in the whole world, even those guys who do are they orchestras, you know, even those guys have a fan base in Kenya because we are a multicultural, multi-ethnic, modernized type urban society. So we listen to everything. Yeah.
Okay. And so this year obviously it's been a bit of a strange like experience for the whole world with the COVID virus, and as you mentioned before, they've just lifted the restrictions today, I think you said. So how's that been, and how have people dealt with it, and how's it been for you?
As an artist, generally speaking, and I'm not even talking about a mainstream artist, I'm just one of the underground talented artists that were working independently, running their own independent labels, you know, creating their own shows. Nobody invites us to shows. We make our own shows. We call our fans to come and watch our shows because we have no time to beg someone for shows. So for someone who has been self-driven, self-motivated like me, it's very difficult because now we have a rule again. We have a social distancing rule. So you cannot be many people in a venue. And you can no longer hold shows. So that means 80% of our sources of revenue has been depleted. But the fact that I'm also not a mainstream artist is also good for me because it means I don't have much that I have lost, you know. My name is not well known out there, so I still have time to master my craft. I still have time to work on myself, you understand? But in terms of income, it has been crushed. The only good advantage is this. We as artists have learned to think outside the box. We have learned to have multilateral levels or sources of income. You understand? And also as creators, we have decided to rely on different forms of content to keep our YouTube channel going instead of just music videos. That's why you find people have started coming up with talk shows. People have started coming with cook shows, you understand, to diversify our source of income and also to diversify our subject matter. So as an artist, our greatest forte is creativity. So in terms of great crisis comes great creativity. And I always say that this corona thing is a crisis, but it's also an opportunity to think outside the box and to be creative and to drive our creativity beyond the expected limitations and the expected boxes that people have boxed us into. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. You know, I've spoke to a lot of artists who have said kind of similar things. You know, that we've had to use the time wisely. You know, and just keep moving it forward. Anyway, you're like, can you tell us who else is involved in your organisation, the Lukenya Movement, and can you tell us about some upcoming artists and producers that we should know about from Kenya?
Yes, Lukenya Movement, basically, my hood is Lukenya. So I went to the guys in my hood, which are producers and artists and dancers, choreographers, videographers, photographers, because we bought a media school, Daystar University, the biggest private communication school in, let's say, even Eastern and Central Africa. So I went to them and told them, you have these degrees, why don't we come together? You have studio equipment, record Raphimus' song, let's record our music videos, edit, and start selling our work. You have sound, let's come together and do our own shows and go to venues and start telling our fans to come and invest in our music. So Lukenya Movement is a collection of artists and creatives from Lukenya at the river. And generally, mostly now we have started crossing over. We have members in Uganda, we have members in Malawi, Tanapi, we have members also in Congo that we are incorporating. We have other guys who went to Australia to study. So now we are opening a Lukenya Movement chapter in Australia. We have our members in South Africa who are studying. So we linked up with those guys who are opening a Lukenya Movement chapter in South Africa. We have members in Canada. So we are branching out. And now, hopefully, one day we will link up with Mr. Joe MOOCHA so that we can have Lukenya Movement in the UK. You understand?
Yeah,
so this movement
is
it's just an informal movement of creatives that come together to create work, and we are not confined by boundaries, because now we, like me and you, I'm talking to you, you are in the UK. So it means if you have a beat and you send it to me, I can record and send it back to you, finished, you understand? And we post it and it goes, it is played globally. So that's how we are linking. So Lukenya Movement, that's what Lukenya Movement is, basically.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, it's really, you know, the fact that we've got technology and the internet and everything now is making the world a lot smaller in some ways, in that we can, like you said, we can just send each other music and have it, you know, have it sent back in the same day and so on. And you know, this whole link up, like you're saying, between, you know, producers and artists from other countries, you know, it's got to be a positive thing for the whole movement, really, you know. And also from my point of view, having come out to East Africa in the last couple of years, you know, and worked with some amazing artists like yourself and all the guys in Kampala at the studio there, you know, it's really exciting for us to hear what's going on in this part, your part of the world as well, you know. So the last couple of months has been the whole it's been a bit of a uprising as it goes, you know, particularly in the USA, but in a lot of countries with the murder of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and the whole Black Lives Matter movement. Have you got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I feel like it should never be mistaken. Black people all around the world felt that murder. Let me tell it as it is. Every black person felt that knee on their neck. Every single household that could access this video felt. As I speak to you, I have goosebumps in me. But that having been said, we must come up with ways to join humanity. We must stop looking at each other through prisms that are fake. You see this skin? I was born with it. I cannot get rid of it. It is there to stay. It is my ID. It is my DNA. There is no way to change it. So we must come together as people, as one people, and find ways of accepting each other's differences and moving forward. And let me tell you, it affected me so much so that I actually made an instrumental album. You see, when we met, I had not started production, but during the coronavirus, you know, during the pandemic, I decided to teach myself something new because I was calling my producers to come and produce, and they were feeling lazy, you know, they're feeling like non-committal. So I learned how to produce, and I produced an album called Looters and Shooters, but in Giriama it's called Evi na Alagi. That translated in English, it's Looters and Shooters, and it's going to be released on the 8th of August next month in honor of George Floyd. So all I can say is racism is real, racism is live, but racism is superficial, it can be defeated. You understand? Once you get over my skin color, then we go to the content of my head, what's in between my ears. That's the only thing that should matter. So it's unfortunate that that thing happened, but it means that the fight is still on. It means that Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Bob Marley were never able to deal with racism. So the onus is on you and me, people who have come and mixed cultures, who have seen each other's culture live, to come and educate the world that there is a better way than racism, there's a better way than discrimination, than homophobia, than sexism, than religious bigotry. There is always a better way, there's a better world we can live in. Come on.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so Looters and Shooters, that's gonna be your next release then. So can you tell us about where we can purchase your music online and where we can find you online?
You can purchase Looters and Shooters on every global streaming platform, that is Spotify, Tidal, Google Play, Deezer, you understand? Napster, like even Pandora, you understand? You can find my music on all global streaming platforms. Also on Instagram, check me out at Mr. Raphimus. That's at MR.RAPHIMUS. That's also Facebook. For Twitter, it's MR without a dot. That's MR RAPHIMUS. That's Twitter. But everywhere else, it's Mr. Raphimus. On YouTube, go check out the channel Lukenya Movement or Google me, Mr. Raphimus. You'll find all my music. You'll find all my videos. Also SoundCloud, it's Mr. Raphimus. That's where all my content, you'll find them. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. And how about you giving us some freestyle for the Kool London listeners then?
Yeah, for sure, bro. You know that's what we do. Here we go. I'm gonna take it from the top, straight out of the head. You know me say, na sasa tuko kwenye interview with Joe Mocha. Straight out of London, tukilutu Lukenya boy, Lieutenant General. Ndiyo mimi Raphimus, when I go hard on the beat, lazima wataskia. Straight out motherland, hadi UK. Straight out of Kenya, hadi huko London. Always chant down Babylon anytime when I chant down, make the demons run a town. Oh, it's a mock, oh, it's a fire anytime we are come. Basta gun anytime Raphimus. We pull it out anytime Raphimus, me chat it out. The devil wanna put me down, anataka weka mimi chini banana, anataka fanya mimi niwe toasting. Never look at that boy, never shine up. Now mina rise up, niko kwenye sky na, nina fly out, niko kwenye hewa sana. Cheki bana, vile tuna roll up, smoke up the ganja, give me some spirituality in my head, make me wiser. Smiter like Solomon Jaja call up. Anytime when I pull up with the pin in me wake, I'm chinning in me sunda. Yo, you know what it is, Mr. Raphimus, straight out of Lukenya in the motherland, Africa. We Joe Mocha, fire in the hole. Yeah. No.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks a lot for that. So coming to the end anyway, but is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to?
Yo, me, first and foremost, I would like to give a shout out to you, Joe Mocha, for taking your time. You understand? For taking your time to give this Lukenya boy, this Lukenya artist, this African artist a chance to appear on your show. You understand? So shout out to you for supporting this upcoming entrepreneur like me. You know, it's not easy for a guy like me, but you know, shout out to you. Number two, shout out to Jaja, man, for keeping me alive, for giving me this talent. Shout out to Jaja for always keeping it 100 with me, you know, providing where it's possible, you know, pushing me through the thick and thin, you understand? Number 3, I would like to give a shout out to my team that have held me down, that have supported me, that have been the backbone of my support. You know, from day one, from all the way, you know, my Rasta youth, thank you. And last but not least, you know, I'd like to thank my mama, the woman who made me, the woman who inspired me, the woman who gave me the teachings that I live with in this life, you understand? I would like to thank that woman and tell her that it's not all in vain, that one day there will be a brighter day. Hola, straight to Lukenya, to London, you know what it is, it's Mr. Raphimus, locked and cocked and ready to blah, blah. Anytime I come to the microphone, ta-ta-ta, ni kama machine is in a pastagan, pa-pa-pa, wale watu wali toka wakaji fichicha. Yeah, you know what it is, Mr. Raphimus, locked and loaded. Hola! Simia se, talanta nimejaza mi se.
Big up for Raphimus. It's like been great to have you on the show, and thanks for taking the time out to answer the questions, you know. And I really look forward to you know, doing some more. I know that we got that one tune that's coming soon as well, that you did like a real fire verse on, and I'm looking forward to hopefully doing some more stuff for you soon as well.
Most definitely, and I'm gonna send you the clips. You understand? I've not been enough, but we are gonna finish that song and we're gonna finish that video so that it can hit the streets and hit the world, bro.
Yeah, look forward to it, definitely.
Blessing, my Rasta, blessing.
All right, blessing to you, and thanks for coming on the show from UK to Kenya. See you next time.
One love, Jah Rastafari. Blessed, blessed Rasta. One love.